Chelsea Football Club have a deadline for their transfer activities to begin, and I'm going to tell you why. It's the 13th of January. Furthermore, Fabrizio Romano gets that crown put on his head once again because he was right about Kolo Muani to Chelsea, and for Tomori being offered to Chelsea with a beautiful return. Fans aren't happy. I'm going to give you my perspective, and more importantly, Anselmino, well, we've got a little issue even though we recalled him. He's not allowed to play for us. It's actually laughable. But before we get started, I need you lot to do the massive thing that you have to do every time you come to the channel. Pay your rent. Support the channel by hitting that like button somewhere down here. Subscribe. We're aiming for 39,000. We are growing at a rapid rate. I want to get 100 more subs, so be one of the people. And in the comments below, let me know, would you be interested in Kolo Muani joining Chelsea? Because he's a good player. However, I'm not totally convinced, but let's get started. Chelsea Football Club don't need to do a lot of business in January. A lot of people want us to do a lot of business. A lot of people are interested in us going and signing more players. However, I think we need to be patient. We need to be realistic. And clubs are doing something that is very interesting. All the clubs are putting out the same story. PSR, PSR, PSR. We keep hearing it. What is that? It's the sustainability rules that are in place by the Premier League, basically ensuring clubs can only spend a certain amount of money. I'm not going to bore you. However, the 13th of January is a huge date. On the 13th of January, we find out which clubs have been penalized for breaching the rule. In simple terms, you're allowed to make a loss of £105 million combined for the last 3 years. And if you do, there's a penalty point. Anything lower than that number, you're fine. You get away with it. Chelsea Football Club last year had a loss of 90 million. This year, I don't think they're expected to have a loss based on what other accounts are saying and more people that are in the know with the calculations are saying. We will find out after the 13th. But why is that date important? Because after that date, we will know whether Chelsea are going to get a points deduction or if they're not. And furthermore, if they're going to go in and spend more money. A lot of clubs are going to be using this as an excuse. A lot of clubs are going to be saying, look, we can't spend money. We've got PSR issues. We need to make sure we don't breach any terms. Guys, all these clubs have got accountants, lawyers, and people within the know. They know what they're doing. They already know if they've breached it or not, or if they're close to breaching it. So don't let them close like your eyes and lie to you. The reality is, these clubs, some don't want to spend money. Some don't see the value of spending money in a January window because you're paying a premium for players. You're paying more money than you would in the summer. And more importantly, all the good players that are in good clubs, they don't want to leave. They're happy with the seasons they're having. So that's just the information in the background news. However, here is the transfer news that Chelsea could be involved in. So a couple of days ago, Kolo Muani was linked with Chelsea. I did not cover it straight away. I waited 24 hours. I wanted all the information to come out, and I wanted to give you the best reputable sources rather than just this is what's happened, breaking news, get everyone excited, then bring them down to cloud 9. And the reason I did this was because I didn't believe the story. On this channel, what I like to do is the information that comes out, I ask myself, is it real? Does it pass the smell test? Like, is this just a fabrication? And in this case, Kolo Muani's news didn't pass the smell test, and I've explained it in the past video, and I'll do it now. I saw the exact same links to Manchester United and Arsenal within 2 weeks. That stinks of his agents trying to do the business. And now Fabrizio Romano came out, and Fabrizio said he hasn't heard anything. Chelsea have not started any concrete talks. Surprise, surprise, 48 hours later, L'Equipe is coming out with Chelsea are not in contact with Kolo Muani. They think he's a good player, but no contacts have occurred. Chelsea have no intention of taking him. It's PSG and Kolo Muani's camps trying to move the player out. He's not working out at PSG. They want him gone. He's on big wages. There's a loan with an option. No English clubs want him. What do? You just link a bunch of English clubs in hope you get a little bit of information that comes out. Even yesterday, I saw Aston Villa. So for me, this is a no-go. I am not interested in this deal. Good player, not a great player. Same level, if not lower than Nicholas Jackson. That is the level of player we're talking about. Do we really need to go and acquire him? I don't think so. Let me know your thoughts though. This next one is very controversial, and I'm going to explain to you why it's controversial. So Fabrizio Tomori is a player that played, I think, around about 30 games for Chelsea, right? Under Frank Lampard, he broke through, scored an absolute screamer. We beat Wolves 5-2. I remember it like it was yesterday. Tammy Abraham got a hat-trick. That game really made the emphasis and epitomized what Frank Lampard's Chelsea was about. You know, youth players from Cobham, breaking through, getting their opportunities. They took it. Chelsea were a top 4 side. Everyone was happy-go-lucky, you know, like, oh my God, we're a great side. We weren't going to win nothing. We weren't going to achieve nothing. However, Fikayo Tomori got sold on by when Thomas Tuchel came in. The club decided it was time to move him on. He went to AC Milan, won a league title. He's been a mainstay there. He's been having a good years. Now it looks set like they don't want to renew his. He looks set to be going to Juventus, and he's linked and offered around English clubs. Chelsea were one of the clubs offered, according to Italian news outlets. And this struck a lot of information. So Chelsea would be interested, apparently, in taking him, only if they could get Disasi off the books. And this is very self-explanatory, right? We need to sell to buy. This is PSR, basic PSR news. This is why I said, right, only after the 13th we'll understand what position we're in and whether we can go and buy. However, a lot of people said it's a step backwards. Going to get a Fikayo Tomori is a step backwards. And I don't understand this because in my opinion, and you know what, we all have opinions. So some of us are wrong, some of us are right, some of us don't agree on everything. I think Fikayo Tomori is better than Axel Disasi, especially in the style of football that we play, where Fikayo Tomori is quicker than him. Fikayo Tomori is more agile than him. He's better on the ball than him. The only thing is, Fikayo Tomori in a deep block isn't as good as a Disasi. But we don't play with a deep block. Our line is a lot higher. So Fikayo is right-footed, would suit that right centre-back position, and would be perfect cover for Wesley Fofana when he's hurt. However, people say Tosin and Disasi are better, and the upgrade isn't even big enough to pay the £30 million. I get that source of argument. My interest is, though, if we can offload Tosin, we're going to get pure profit, and I think we will do that in the summer. I think if we can get Disasi out of the club, do it ASAP. Tomori is a leader. Tomori is good on the ball. Tomori is quick. He's agile. And more importantly, he's homegrown status. Homegrown status means we don't need to run and fit a lot of criteria and put some tick box exercises, because the Premier League requires you to have X amount of players that are homegrown, that are Premier League registered, right? That came through the academy system. It's a loophole. We have to have it. There's nothing else we can do. The interesting aspect here is, though, what do? A lot of people have said, Alex, you haven't watched Tomori. I've been watching Tomori. I like AC Milan. The issue is, this year under Paulo Fonseca, I've not watched as many games. So the last 3 months, I haven't. People are saying his form has rapidly deteriorated to the point where he has been dropped. He's no longer the same player. I'm going to take your word for it. Personally, if the rumors start accelerating and become more and more reputable, then I'm going to go and do some more extensive research and see whether I want to put my name out there and say, bring him. At the moment, let's not rule it out. He's a good player. I like the player for what I've seen of him. I know the player very well. He's 27 years old, brings experience. He's a winner. So for me, it seems like a no-brainer. But let's be patient with it. The other piece of news is regarding Anselmino. So Anselmino's situation has had a lot of grey around it, right? Fabrizio said he's coming back. Fabrizio said he'll train with the squad. No decisions made about the loan. Reports in Argentina, alternatively, are saying that this player is going to Strasbourg. He's going straight away to Strasbourg. We know he also has to go on loan and play for the under-20 Argentina side in some sort of tournament. It's coefficients. I don't understand all those tournaments. I don't keep up with them. However, this is where it gets interesting. Reports in Argentina now are stipulating that this player has not got enough points to get a work permit to work in the UK. Meaning, he can't play for Chelsea. He can't be in the country, being employed as a Chelsea player, because the government won't let him be here. And this is interesting because he's played it for Boca Juniors. He's been a first-team player. However, he hasn't got enough international cap or anything to justify the government saying, yeah, you know what, he's enough of a prospect for him to become a player. What I think is going to happen is he's going to go to France. He's going to go on loan there. He's going to perform there, build up some equity in the French league, and then they'll justify it. The problem is, and this is a real good, interesting question, will the French government let him play? I don't know. One of you can educate me. However, from what I've seen of this kid, and I've been seeing a lot of compilations, I haven't seen live games. He looks good, man. Very good passing range, clean, proper, very Levi Colwill-esque in terms of the diversity of passes that he's playing. Long, short, medium range passes, on the floor, off the floor, just all round good range of passer. However, I haven't seen any compilations of him defending. People are saying he's aggressive. Don is absolutely loving this guy. I can't wait to be on the Chelsea breakdown on Saturday. The gang's getting back together, so we're going to talk about it in the evening. I can't wait to see what Anselmino's like. Personally, I would want him to go on loan to Strasbourg. I want him to go on loan, go play. I need Josh Achampong to get more opportunities because we need to find out how good this kid is and we need to ease him in slowly. Like, genuinely, I would give him an opportunity, a right back. Maybe not against Fulham. Morecambe, he needs to start. Then after that, you bleed him in for 15, 20 minutes. Slowly, get him acclimatized to the pace, and then you inject him in to start playing. I also need an update on Fofana, man. I think a lot of our problems have started when Fofana and Lavia got injured. The defense started being a little bit more exposed. I don't like it. But this was the Kavkas View. For those of you that don't know, John Obi Mikel started talking about Chelsea, and he basically revealed our transfer plans for the next 2 transfer windows and what the club is trying to do. The link is here. Honestly, great video, over 20,000 views. People are really appreciating it. Go check it out. You'll enjoy it. Peace out. I'm out. Hit the like button on your way out. Happy New Year.